A few weeks ago, I asked you guys which team should I run an MLB The Show 18 franchise with, and you guys poured in over 1,000 votes, tons of comments, and a couple of you guys actually asked to be a creative player. And I am happy to announce to you guys, and after deliberating for so long, the team that I'm going to be running with is none other than the Miami Marlins. Now, this franchise is going to be really difficult because, as you guys know, Giancarlo Stanton, gone. Kristen Yelich, gone. And a whole lot of other players they had are gone. So this roster is kind of bare bones. Now, a big part of this franchise is figuring out this roster and kind of identifying like where we're going to move people, who's going to be here, who's going to get traded. And believe me, there are about to be some trades that are going to happen. But I also want to talk about you guys that poured in over 500 comments to be a player on this franchise. Now, keep in mind, I only selected 8 players. If you didn't get selected in this round, don't worry. There are going to be other opportunities in the future, and I'll explain those in a future video. Now, 2 of you guys did make the cut as starting pitchers, but you won't be in the major leagues from day one. Now, if we go down here, the first guy we're going to look at is Alvin Morris. This dude has 90 velocity. Stamina could use some work. Fielding is actually pretty good for a pitcher, and his breaking for his pitches will be fantastic. So I'm really excited to see how this guy's career kind of molds together, but he is an A overall for potential. So I got a feeling he won't be in single A very long. Probably going to move that guy up to triple A and double A, but we're going to see how he works overall there in his first couple of starts. Next up, we have AJ Berry, who is in double A right now, but again, a lot of this stuff will fluctuate. Alvin Morris, again, is probably not going to be in single A very long, but for AJ Berry, 99 overall for his velocity. Control, that's where he's got a lot of work to do, man. We need to make sure that as he goes to the double A and triple A rankings, that he can really get better with his control. His stamina is solid, his Ks per 9 needs a lot of work too, but the breaking that he has on his pitches, along with his fielding, I think will catapult him through the rankings, and maybe we'll see him towards the end of the season, even in the September call-ups. For our relief pitchers, we actually did have a guy that I think will make the majors here in the first month or two. Now, if we go down here to Bobby Beamer, Bobby Beamer is an incredible human being. Look at this. This dude has a blonde mullet. He has a blonde handlebar mustache. And this dude has 90 velocity, 83 breaking for his pitches. Control, again, has a little bit of suspect areas there at 59 overall. But I feel like this guy can come in and get some strikeouts in day one. He'll be a guy that we can rely on for sure in our bullpen. At the closing pitcher spot, we're going to have Brad Ziegler kind of be our starter there, but the dude is 38 years of age, so it's possible after this year that he's completely gone. And I think Hank Chase, who's a top 50 guy right now, could be the guy to fill his shoes. But as you can see, 60 overall, 8 potential, which is fantastic. Velocity isn't super great. Ks per 9 is actually a little bit better than some of the other younger pitchers that we have. He has some work to do. We're starting him out in Double A baseball. Again, I think he'll move up through the rankings, but he has a lot of work to do before he gets to the majors, but I think he'll have a full season before we see him get called up. At catcher, we have JT Realmuto, who's 27 years of age, 80 overall, and I got a feeling he's going to be our everyday guy. Behind him is Brian Holiday, but honestly, I don't expect JT to really sit too many games. We'll give him the occasional break, but he's a solid guy for us, and I think he'll be a good piece moving forward. At first base, we have Justin Bour, again, 29 years of age, 80 overall, very similar to JT in terms of his overall statistics or his overall rating, but behind him is Dakota Elrod. Now, Dakota is in AAA at the moment. He's 21 years of age, 71 overall. Good contact, good power, nothing really jumps off the charts for him, so he has some work to do in AAA before we see him to the majors, but if he's a guy that shows a lot of promise, it's possible we trade Justin Bour at the deadline, let Dakota come up a little bit later, and let him kind of flourish in the majors. At second base, we have Starlin Castro, who's nothing to be really overly excited about, but he'll be a solid day in and day out who can probably bat about 300 for us. At third base, we have Martin Prado, who is honestly past his prime, 34 years of age, still has a good arm, can field a little bit there, but his contact versus lefties is really why we're keeping him on the roster right now. At shortstop, we have Andre Johnson, who is the son of Dwayne Johnson, 19 years of age, and is honestly going to be in the majors, I think, from day one. He's a 69 overall. He has fantastic speed, pretty good fielding, and a pretty solid arm. Hitting is absolute trash, if we're going to be perfectly honest, so we'll probably promote him to AAA from day one, see how he does, and then move him to the majors about a month or two into the season, as long as his hitting actually gets to be a little bit better. In left field, we have Derek Dietrich, who's a 72 overall, but just behind him is Marcus Frisk. Now, right now you can see 71 overall, 8 years younger than him, and an A potential. I got to imagine it's not going to be long before we see Marcus come up to the majors, because Derek, if I were you, I'd be a little nervous right now. In center field, we have Lewis Brinson, and there's not really a ton of depth behind him. Maybe we'll see what happens, but this could be an opportunity for Frisk to really go from left field, play in center a little bit. I got a feeling he'll be playing all 3 positions in the outfield at some point this season. And the last position to discuss is right field. Now, we have Cameron Maven as our starter. Behind him is Jamil Aziz, who's going to be in single A and probably again moving up to double and triple, hopefully by the end of the year, but He's a 66 overall, so there's a lot of work for him to do. I mean, Cameron Maybin is still a guy that can get the job done. He's still a good fielder for his age. Jamil Aziz, though, 96 speed, high steal ability, great arm, great fielding ability. Again, the hitting is where we're worried about him, but if he can improve that in a season or two, I could see him in the majors. Next up, we really need to scout some people, and to give you guys a heads up of how my scouting is basically going to work is, as I scout players, what'll really be cool for you guys is that every player I scout, you get an opportunity to become that player. Now, don't do it in this video, but in the future, I'll give you steps on how to become that player because we don't really know who we're drafting or what position. But keep in mind, you'll have an opportunity to become one of these players in the future. The 4 players I'm going to scout right now are Tom Franco, who is an 18-year-old third baseman who can come up in 2022. If we go down a little bit, the next guy we're going to be looking at scouting is going to be Lewis Malloy, a 19-year-old starting pitcher who could come up in 2022 potentially. Pretty solid potential. We'll see how he develops. Ronald Gutierrez, again, another center fielder, 22 years of age, 70 overall for potential. And then the last guy we're looking at right here is Richard Escalona, 22 years of age. They say he could come up in 2019, 70 for his potential. We'll see how these guys pan out, but there's actually a lot of good talent here in the top half of the draft that I have to feel like we'll have a top pick. That makes me really happy. Another big decision we have to make is who are our sponsors going to be? Now, I actually have a decent amount of these, so we can look real quick and see. We have a silver sponsorship for $2,500 per run, $10,000 per home run there, and then a gold sponsorship of $55,000 per save. I feel like I kind of want to go ahead and roll with that one, so we're going to put that one there. For active replay sponsor, again, we can do the same sort of thing. I feel like $10,000 per home run will be great. And then right here we can do a silver sponsorship to make us have $2,500 per run. Now, I don't know if you can actually like stack these and just keep putting them up and up, but just for now, that's what we'll keep for the moment. For the first trade that I'm going to try to work, I'm trying to get Tristan McKenzie, who's a fantastic pitcher in the Indians organization, Shane Bieber, who's not related to Justin Bieber, and Bobby Bradley, who's a good first baseman. I know I already have a first baseman, but what if Dakota Elrod doesn't work out? We need a contingency plan. So we're trading Justin Bour and Brian Anderson. Brian Anderson is in basically a third baseman that's kind of in the top 50, but he's expendable to me because I feel like we can draft one in the upcoming draft. So we're going to try to make this trade. And they want a little bit more value. Oh my God. Now I think I found a way to actually balance out this trade. Looks like they wanted Zach Gallen, so we're gonna trade Justin Bour, Brian Anderson, and Zach Gallen for Tristan McKenzie, basically their top pitching prospect, Shane Bieber, again, not related to Justin Bieber, and Bobby Bradley. Let's see if they make the trade. Our first trade is in the books, baby. This next trade is about to be a blockbuster, and I am literally trying to rob the Yankees of all their young talent. So Gleyber Torres, 21 years of age, A potential, 70 overall. I mean, this guy could play in the majors for me today, I think, at this point. So he's got pretty good speed. He's a star in the making. I know he's going to be huge for me. Now, outside of him, I'm also looking at third base. We're going to get Dermis Garcia, who's, again, a C potential. Not really great. He's kind of a diamond in the rough, in my opinion, but his 80 stealing, his decent speed, I think this guy could be a major leaguer at some point. But then the other guy that we're getting, one of the crown jewels of this trade, is we're also getting Esteban Florial. So 20 years of age, A potential. Look at the speed rating. Look at his contact and his power already. They're pretty even across the board for only being 20 years of age. His arm, his fielding, his reaction, those are all good. And we're giving up basically Starlin Castro, Yarlin Garcia, and Lewis Brinson. I'm kind of sad to give up Brinson, but I'd rather have Florial over Brinson. Let's see if they take the trade. We literally just robbed the New York Yankees. Because I've made a couple of trades at this point, I need to get another starting pitcher or two, so we're going to bring in Michael Yanoa. I feel like he'll be a good fit, but I don't want to offer him 5 years. I'm thinking 2 years, $1.6 million. Again, we're trying to rebuild here. We are not trying to win a championship right now. We are trying to rebuild. I have a lot of young talent in Fusion, and he's going to go ahead and accept it, which means we're good. With all the crazy trades that have just happened, we have to kind of look at our roster and see where it's at right now. So there's a look at what our starting pitcher looks like. You can kind of see organizational depth in terms of major leagues, AAA, AA, and so forth. Go to relief pitchers again, we still have Barraclough, but I got a feeling we'll try to trade him at some point closer to the deadline. Move over to closing pitchers, you can see again Ziegler with Hank Chase and AA. Catchers, we're going to have JT still there as our starter, with Holiday backing him up. If you go over to first baseman, Dakota Elrod is now the starting first baseman for our team. This is going to be interesting, that's for sure. And Bobby Bradley's in AA. I think we'll move him to AAA actually really soon. Actually, let's go ahead and move him to AAA right now because you know what? The young fella deserves it. In terms of second base, we have Gleyber Torres there in AAA now, 70 overall. But honestly, you can see he's on par with our starting second baseman in the majors. So to me, it's only a matter of time before we move Torres up. I just need to make sure that he gets some production and kind of improves a little bit in AAA. At third base, we have Martin Prado. At shortstop, we have Andre Johnson. Again, the son of Dwayne Johnson is moving up to the majors. He's not going to start, but he will get some playing time for sure. And again, he's only 3 points behind Miguel Rojas. In left field, we have Dietrich with Frisk there as well. Frisk is actually rated higher, if you ask me. In center field, we don't have a single center fielder on the Major League roster, but Esteban Florial, I think, in the next season or two, probably 2 seasons, honestly, will move to the majors. And then in right field again, Cameron Maben with Jamil Aziz starting in single A. You got to imagine he'll move up through the ranks by the end of the season. Now, our pitching coach is a C attribute grade, so I'm going to go ahead and fire him, and we're going to go ahead and hire somebody new. So who is on the market? So we got an A for Johnny Dowdy. Sean Fernandez actually has +1 for break, walks, velocity, and home runs per 9. This guy has +2 for Ks per 9. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna not look at anyone else. We're signing this dude right here. Make him an offer. Make him an offer he can't refuse. We're gonna give him a little bit more money because, you know, we got money to spend obviously at this point. And he accepted the offer. We got a brand new pitching coach. If we also take a look at the top prospects to kind of see where we rank, I do want to point out that I did add my creative player in here, and you know, he's doing okay for himself. Number 1 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ohtani obviously there is number 2, but if you go down here, we have Torres, who's a number 11 prospect, which makes me really happy. Do we have anybody else on the list though? That's what I'm anxious to actually see. Florial again, number 28, so we have 2 in the top 30. Anybody else on this list? We may not have anyone else. Oh, we actually do. We also have number 50 in Trevor Rogers, who's in AA right now. So we have 3 of the top 50. That's not horrible. That's not great, though. I want to improve on that for sure. Now, we're finding ourselves in a really tricky situation. Andre Johnson's coming in. We're having him pinch hit. Look at the score. Bottom of the 9th inning. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Ooh, the young fella goes for the hit and a little overzealous on that. I mean, his first major league hit could be a walk-off if he just gets a single. We'll see what happens here. He's got Frisk on second base. This one's going to be low. He hits it up the middle. Frisk is going to turn. He's got 96 speed. There's no way they throw him out. It's going to be a play at the plate. It's going to be close. It bounces. Frisk is in. The game-winning hit. Frisk comes in from second base, scores that one. They mob him at home plate. But shout out to Andre Johnson. The first hit of this young fella, look at him celebrate. The son of Dwayne Johnson, first hit of his career. Look at Dakota Elrod showing up for him too. That was a big hit, and you know what my saying is, big time players made big time plays, drilled that one up the middle after a horrible first swing. His second one, he settled down, he got the hit, and the Marlins get their 3rd game of the season. It's going to be a W. They're now 3-6 in the year. Look, they're showing promise. The team is pretty trash overall. Let's get a high draft pick, but man, you have to be happy with how that one panned out. And player of the game goes to Jose Urena, and 7 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Yeah, he deserved the Gatorade on that one for sure, but you know what, give some Gatorade to Andre Johnson too. So this young team through 10 games is 4-6, and honestly they're better than the Mets, which is not something I expected to see. I'm really happy to see how well they're playing. We have a lot of young talent now infused into the organization. Some more trades, some more things need to happen, but overall I want to know from you guys, what do you think of this series? Do you like the style that I'm presenting it? What trades we'll be trying to make? What do you guys think so far of the roster? Let me know by leaving me a comment down below. As always, make sure you guys crush the like button, subscribe if you haven't already for more Marlins franchise episodes, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.